baseball from downtown Detroit, Michigan. The Royals went 0-3 against the Pirates, and now tonight they begin a 4-game series against the Tigers. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the ballpark with Rex Hudler. I'm Ryan Lefevre. Whit Merrifield's having a great year. He's running wild, maybe a little too wild last night, but it seems like every week he puts himself in a brand new offensive category.
He does. And 5 months ago, if you'd have told me that he was going to have a better season than last, I would have went, really? I thought last year might be his career year. This year, he's a more confident player and a smarter player. Whenever you're in company with Altuve, Ellsbury, those guys are really some excellent players, especially since 2010. He's getting it done. He's a fantastic baseball player and worth the price of admission.
His power and speed is doubles and stolen bases, and he's had a really good year against lefties this year. The Royals as a team have not, and they'll face lefty Matthew Boyd in Game 1. The Royals will face lefty Matthew Boyd, whose career ERA against the Royals is over 6. Now, he's been a little bit better this year, Hud, but he's still just 1-3 against the Royals.
Yeah, you know what? The Royals have his number. At least they did in the past, and they've been looking him up in the zone. Right there, that's what you do. You look for that heater up. Stay off his slider. He's been good, especially his last 5 home starts. His ERA is under 1.
Going up against Jorge Lopez, who was injured in his last start. They're an even 3-3 in Detroit. And with just one win in this 4-game series, the Royals will clinch the season series from the Tigers for a 4th consecutive season. It's Boyd for the Tigers, Lopez for the Royals, and the first pitch is next. It is 74 degrees. Tomorrow it's going to be 84. On Saturday the high will be 64 degrees with lows in the 40s. And a look at the Royals batting order tonight. Whit Merrifield will lead off. He'll be the designated hitter. Adalberto Mondesi is in the starting lineup for a 14th consecutive game. Jorge Bonifacio will be in right field. And Alcides Escobar at third tonight. Brett Phillips back on defense. He will be in center against Matthew Boyd, who 3 years ago got his first big league win against the Royals. He's 9-12 this year, but most of his numbers have improved compared to last year.
He's growing up. That's what it is. He's maturing quickly. He's understanding the art of pitching. So if you're going to beat him now, as good as he's going here in Comerica in his last 5 starts, you better lay off his slider. It's been good. 164 opponent average on it.
And his first pitch is outside to Whit Merrifield, who has another double-digit hitting streak. 10 straight. Fouled back to the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. In fact, Whit is the only major league player this year with 4 hitting streaks of 10 or more games on our Toyota League leaderboard. And now fastball's in for a strike, according to Adrian Johnson, and it's 1-2.
Whit was telling me before the game he's going to have to stay inside of the baseball and use the whole field like he does anyway. It's a good rip the other way. Big yard here. Triples Haven out there in the gaps. Right field, left field. Right center, left center. The lines are, you know, at 330, it looks like it's a long way, but it ball carries pretty well down the lines, both sides.
Inside with a fastball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. And a line drive into left center field is down. And Witt is digging for 2. He has another double, and he extends his hitting streak to 11 games.
41st double, and that's a leg double. It was a no-brainer. He's on contact right here. He's saying 2 to himself because he could tell where he hit it. He didn't barrel it, or it would have split the gap. He'd have had a triple. But he knows that he's going to second all the way. Hits the inside part of the base there. Never misses stride. Defensively, the Tigers this year, they're 10th out of the 15 teams in fielding percentage, and they're -4 in defensive runs saved, which is 19th overall. Not too bad. There's Grayson Greiner, a good-looking young catcher they like.
Mondesi shoots it foul. Mondesi drove in the Royals' only run last night in Pittsburgh with a home run, his 10th of the year. And then a play that was talked about quite a bit during and after the game, and that was later when Merrifield tried to steal third with 2 outs, and Mondesi at the plate. No balls and 2 strikes. Mondesi homered and doubled in his first 2 at-bats.
If nobody's going to hold him on, he's going to take third base. Same way, same situation. Him and Mondesi, they're on their own. They're Green Light City.
That's back and out of play. He is in the starting lineup for a 14th consecutive game, and he's hit over 360 in his last 20 games with 15 RBIs. Staying alive at no balls and 2 strikes.
One of the things about Boyd that he's improved on a lot, of course, Rick Anderson, their new pitching coach since about halfway through the season, is having him use more fastballs, but also he can go 88 to 94 with that fastball. So he's learning how to add and subtract with the pitch, with the fastball. One pitch, but he can turn into different pitches by changing speeds, which is very frustrating for hitters.
Outside, 1-2.
Slider's his best pitch, and talked about that. He'll backdoor it. That means come in from the outside part of the plate, and then he'll back leg it, which starts in the middle and ends up at the right-hand hitter's back right leg. They call that a back legger.
Here's the slider, and it appears that that's a key pitch for him this year with his improved numbers. He has thrown it more often. Last year Boyd threw it 11%. That's a big spike in 1 year, up to about 1 every 3 pitches is his slider.
I think all modern day pitchers are learning that the spin rate is outdoing the home run rate.
And a fastball at 94, a foul tip, and a strikeout, 1 away.
Boyd knew the situation there. He was trying to pitch him in so he couldn't get the ball over to the right side to move Merrifield. So that's a good pitch there. Snuck it by him at 94. And Mondesi's walking slowly back to the dugout thinking, man, I should have hit that.
Here's some of those improved numbers. His ERA is way down. Opponent's batting average is way down. And the same with his walks per 9 innings. And they've been waiting on him here in Detroit. He'll always be attached to the David Price trade. Price going from the Tigers to the Blue Jays in 2015. Not as if David Price was a long-term beloved Tiger, but an ace-type pitcher, and you expect good pitchers in return. And Matthew Boyd came over with another lefty, Daniel Norris. Upstairs, 1-1 on Hunter Dozier, who hit safely in all 3 games in the Pirate series. got the call.
Look at Dozier. I don't blame him. That's inside. Okay, so he logs that in his mental memory, and he's going to say, all right, if I see that again, then I'm going to turn on it. He's got plenty of quick enough bat he can hit that. Oh, here comes another one. Probably same place.
Merrifield to third, and it's fouled away.
Except that was off speed. Good jump by Witt.
Witt has stolen third 13 times this year, and that's a Royals record. Lorenzo Cain had 12 in 2015.
Second baseman Dowell Lugo is holding him close, giving up some ground there.
And timeout was called right before Boyd was coming to the plate. Witt still has a 3 stolen base advantage over Malik Smith and now Jose Ramirez, who's up to 33. Last year Witt led the league with 34. Grounded to third, and backing up is Rodriguez, hoping for a better hop, and it's off of his glove, and Dozier safe.
He played that into a hit, but that's an error, really. Whenever you back up on a baseball like that, you're asking for a lot of trouble. Yeah, they scored an error. It should have been. You want to go get that ball and get the short hop instead of laying back, especially if a guy like Dozier that can run. You got to know the runner's speed too. Take advantage of it here.
Two on for Salvador Perez. Salvi drove in his 76th run in the Royals Pirates series. Still 1 home run shy of a career high 27. He is 2 home runs shy of a major league record, and that is 7 consecutive seasons of a home run increase. Nobody has ever done that to begin a career.
It's impressive. I like the little ladder that we showed, the graphic where it showed where he's gradually rising. Yeah, that was a cool thing to see.
There goes Witt to third, and Salvi pops it up.
Can they see it?
Shallow right center, and it's going to be the center fielder Jones coming way in to make the play. There was some confusion on the infield. I don't know if Lugo ever saw it. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Jorge Bonifacio. He was hitless in the Pirates series, but he had a couple of walks in the 9th inning in games 2 and 3 in 1-run games. And on Tuesday night he scored the tying run. Last night he was stranded.
Twice Witt has tried to steal the base, but they swung at the pitch.
Oh, 0-1.
You're the trail runner whenever Merrifield or Mondesi's at second base, man. You really got to have your eyes glued on him, and you go when he goes. See, he's looking. Mitch Meyer, he has the first baseman in case he tries to sneak in for a pickoff.
Fastball 0-2. High fastball is fouled away. Statcast AI powered by AWS.
Likes to pull the ball, that's for sure, but here with 2 strikes, he wants to be a run producer like Ned wants him to be. Has him hitting in RBI spots. 5th and 6th in the orders. 273 average of the runner in scoring position. Knock him in. There's a slider. Good one.
Stopped by Greiner, who's a big catcher. As in 6'6", Grayson Greiner. This is the 25th pitch, and it's fouled back.
You're not going to get much better pitch than that. That's 93, right over the middle. Just missed it.
Witt opened the inning with a double with 1 out. Dozier reached on an error, and now 2 on, 2 out.
Guy throws that many pitches, you'd hope you could get a run in or two. Make it hurt.
There goes Witt. Dozier behind him, and the throw to third is not in time. But it was close.
Wow. Trip Gibson, I don't think could have gotten his nose any closer to the base than he did. He was right on it. Third base umpire. Now Witt didn't get an excellent jump. I think he got his hand. Look where the umpire is. He was right on it. Trip Gibson.
Tigers will not challenge. So that is the 14th steal of third for Whit Merrifield this year. And now 2 in scoring position for Bonifacio.
Yeah, Dozier, he'll get his 2nd steal of the year.
Oh. Left field into the wind, but deep and gone. Jorge Bonifacio, who was down 0-2 at one point, hits his 4th home run of the year. And the Royals have 3 in the first inning.
That's what Ned's talking about. Make it hurt. 27th pitch. The error that was made. That's exactly what you want to do. Make it hurt in the first inning. Pulled his hands in, 93. Boyd didn't believe he could hit it. He struck Mondesi out on 94 in there, and Bonifacio barreled him.
Right into the glove of a Royals fan out there in left field. So that makes that trip worth it.
Fantastic. And to give Jorge Lopez a lead before he toes the slab.
And this next pitch will be the 30th thrown by Matthew Boyd in the first inning. And Hud, you had mentioned he had really been pitching well at home. Matthew Boyd had given up 3 runs in his last 5 home starts combined. And now Herrera hits it hard, deep right center field, but Jacoby Jones, a good fielding center fielder, runs it down. And that ends the inning. A 30-pitch inning for Boyd, a 3-run inning for the Royals.
Pilot to Bombardier in the first.
in a RBI spot in the lineup, and he drives in 3 in the first inning with a home run. And now the Tigers batting order, and the Tigers have had big time problems on offense this year. They're second to last in the league in runs scored, second from last in the major leagues in home runs, and they make up for that though by not walking very much.
Look, if you don't hack, they'll sit you back. That's my philosophy. All right, Jorge Lopez, fastball command. That's what he's done so well in his last 3 starts. Opponents, heck, has been struggling. 243. He's got excellent movement when he's on. Look at that, jammed him.
Kobe Jones is on to begin the bottom of the first.
Forward around the horn. Royals defense is always good. Brett Phillips, he gets to patrol one of the deepest center fields in all of baseball here at Comerica Park, and he can do it. He's got great speed and can cover the ground. Rosell Herrera is playing at second base. He gets to turn 2 with his buddy Mondesi. Hasn't made an error all year. It's been solid.
This is Kristen Stewart. Fouled off the left field line and out of play. Tigers' first round pick 3 years ago out of the University of Tennessee. And their minor league player of the year the last 3 seasons, Kristen Stewart.
Time to give the young man a shot. Give him an opportunity. He's earned it.
Breaking ball's a little bit high. 1 ball, 1 strike. If there was one pitch, and it probably didn't come down to 1 pitch, but if there was 1 pitch that separated Lopez's near perfect game against Minnesota and then his last start against the Twins, back-to-back starts, was his breaking ball. They didn't do anything with his breaking ball when he went 8 perfect innings, but the Twins were ready for the breaking ball on Friday when they scored 3 runs in 4 1/3 innings. That's lined to deep right field. Going back, Bonifacio, and that is a 2-run home run. And major league home run number 1 for Kristen Stewart, and now it's 3-2 in the bottom of the first inning.
You know, he didn't barrel it as good as he could have, but he hit it off the end. He's a strong young man. That's a high fastball that was on the outer half. And Salvador Perez, he looked up. He never saw it when the ball left his bat. 24 home runs in 16, 28 home runs in 17, and 23 this year. This kid, he's built for this ballpark, a left-handed power hitter.
Castellanos has power the other way, and just like that, the game is tied. Jorge Bonifacio hits a 3-run home run in the first, and now Stewart and Castellanos hit home runs in the bottom of the first. And apparently it's on at Comerica Park.
And you think that the Tigers saw our scouting report on Lopez's chance of winning, and that's using the fastball, establishing it, and they're on it. They are way ready for it. So when this starts happening, that's when you got to bring in some secondary pitches. Start mixing them up a little bit. Now, that was a curve, by the way. Castellano is so good inside out balls that he was able to flick that into the right field seats with no problem.
Fouled back by Victor Martinez. Lopez had only given up 2 home runs in his first 33 innings as a Royal, so that was not an issue for him. And now 2 of the first 3 have homered tonight. 0-2 on Martinez. Another foul ball. Victor Martinez takes on the Royals today by AARP, which is appropriate because he will be a retired person next year. This will be it for him, and he's up there among the all-time leaders in numbers against the Royals. 3rd most hits and tied for the 3rd most doubles all time against the Royals, and he spent most of his career in the Central Division with the Indians, brief time with the Red Sox, and then a long time with the Tigers. And at this stage of his career, he's a tough strikeout.
Gonna tax your pitch count and foul off balls left and right. And how about the veterans giving Stewart the business over there on the bench there? Guys are giving him a hard time after hitting his first big league homer.
Still 0-2. Tigers have a single, a 2-run home run, and a solo home run to tie it at 3. A little bit low, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that's hit well to right center field, and it will roll deep. So it's 4 straight hits against Lopez, and the last 3 have been extra base hits.
Ned's biting his lip. Got him 3 runs in the first inning and gets on the slab. Can't get a Tiger out. Perfect placement for Martinez. Late in his career, having a hard time running, he just walked into second base.
So 4 batters into the game, and Cal Eldred trots out to the mound for the first time.
Just a little bit too much to the middle.
And you also have to wonder too, how does Lopez feel? Remember, he had that collision with Hunter Dozier in his last start, which seemed harmless at the time, but he took a shoulder to the rib cage and had a rib cage contusion. So is he able to extend like he normally would?
Well, by looking at the velocity, he's not 95, 94, 95. He's in the low 90s. But sometimes it takes a while to get everything loose, get loosened up.
Here's Jim Adduci. And Mondesi dives. He has a play with Victor Martinez, who stopped in between second and third. Mondesi tags him out. So that's fortunate for the Royals, because I'm not sure he would have been able to get Adduci, maybe, but Victor Martinez assumed that that was going to go through, and then he was stuck in between second and third.
Heck of a play. I didn't think he'd get to it. Showing some more range here. Look at him. He's moving. He's moving as the pitch was crossing the plate. Mondesi was. Look at Martinez. He's just a dead duck. He's sitting right in the middle. He doesn't have the speed to get back either way. So take the out. They'll take it.
Ball 1 on Ronnie Rodriguez. who's feeling a little better right now. He committed an error, which gave the Royals an extra out in the first inning, and the Royals turned that into 3. And now his teammates have tied it in the bottom of the first inning. Jeimer Candelario, the Tigers' regular third baseman, had to leave the game on Tuesday night with some back spasms. There's Candelario. That's down and away. 3 balls and no strikes. Three and one.
Not quite the same movement that we've seen out of his fastball. It's a little bit straighter, and velocity's not there.
That fastball is drilled into deep left center field, and that's going to bounce over the wall. And as it does, we see the Royals are already working in the bullpen.
Well, that's a blessing in disguise right there. As the ball hopped over, if it stays in, they would have scored another run here. But when we showed Ned biting his lip, that's what he was biting his lip about. He's like, oh, man, I'm going to have to get one of my guys up early, because he didn't have it. He's right in the middle of the plate with everything. The one breaking ball he threw was hit out of the park by Castellanos.
There's Glenn Sparkman, and the Royals bullpen is deep and rested, being September, and being that Phil Meyer went 7 last night in Pittsburgh, so Ned only needed 1 inning from his bullpen. Grayson Greiner, and he hits it hard. That'll get another runner home as Phillips makes a play. So Ducey comes down from third. Rodriguez goes to third on a sac fly by Greiner. And the Tigers have taken a 4-3 lead in the bottom of the first inning.
Yeah, that fastball is straight as a string. Doesn't have that late little tailing action, little run, arm side run they call it.
Zawel Lugo bounces it up the first base line, and Dozier is right there for the out. So it was a heck of a first inning. The Royals get 3 and the Tigers get 4.
of the second inning. And as you enjoy a Miller Lite, look forward to the whole true moment later in tonight's game.
Well, there are a total of 6 runs scored on Tuesday and Wednesday combined in Pittsburgh. A couple of 2-1 games.
Yeah.
And now tonight we have 7 runs in the first inning. Escobar, Goodwin, and Phillips are coming up. 1-1 on Eske. Eske's at third base tonight. He made his second career start at second base last night in Pittsburgh. There's the Boyd slider. You can see there why the opponent's average is 165 this year on that pitch.
And watch Boyd come on now that he's got the lead. He says, all right, you guys help me out. He's going to go to pitching. And that's really what's been the big difference for Boyd. He's learning how to pitch.
Three and two. And Eske has a line drive into left center field. Jones runs hard to cut it off. He'll throw to second. Here's Eske, and he's in with a leadoff double.
Eske 22nd double. It was a leg double. Like it. Boyd dropped his arm angle down. Eske saw it all the way. And I like it. Didn't hesitate one bit. Putting the pressure on Jones, the center fielder, to make a perfect throw. Hitters see that off the bat. They know right away if they're going to go for 2 or not, because they can tell how hard they hit it, but it's where they hit it.
Sliders in for a strike to Goodwin. Alex Gordon is not in the lineup tonight, so the only left-hand batters in there against Boyd are his 8 and 9 hitters. That's outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. 242 with the Nationals and Royals overall, but with the Royals he's hitting 284. And he lays off a slider and is ahead in the count, 2-1. And this will be Boyd's 40th pitch. And there's nobody out in the second inning. He threw exactly 30 in the Royals' 3-run first. And now it's 3-1 on Goodwin.
Hard to tell if it's going to be your night or not if you're a pitcher. You warm up out in that bullpen, you know, you might have great stuff, but until you get there facing a live hitter, you don't know.
That's hit well. Deep right center field. And it is deep to right center field, but Goodwin gets it over the wall for a 2-run home run. Or was it?
Yeah.
It is. Ruled by first base umpire Brian Gorman. So the Tigers will probably take another look, but there are no cheapy home runs to right center field in this ballpark, and now the Royals are back with 2 more. And it is 5-4 in the top of the second inning.
Motor City Madness. Wow, early in this one. That's a high fastball. Watch Goodwin. Goodwin, by watching him, told me he hit it out. Now that was fan interference right there for sure. It looked like he was past the line, but he hit it far enough, and you could tell Goodwin by the way he started his trot that he got it all. Now it's, you know, that's a long way to hit one here. But the fan, he was past the line when he tried to catch it. Good swing.
The umpires will take a look. This is not a challenge. So Ron Gardenhire probably thinks, what the heck? Have him take another look at it. There's even a little railing right there at the bottom of the stairs.
Well, good one, putting a charge in a homer off a lefty. Boy, that's good. Guys are happy for him.
Well, Matthew Boyd, in his previous 5 starts at home, had a 0.84 ERA. He had given up 3 runs total in 5 starts, and now he's given up 5 in an inning plus. And it is a home run. That's our crew chief, Brian Gorman. So much for his teammates giving him the lead after he gave up 3 in the first inning. The Royals have 2 more. And here's Brett Phillips. No balls, 1 strike. Phillips started in right field last night. He's in center field tonight. There's a big curve. And it's 0-2. This is a promising start for the Royals, not just with the lead, but facing lefties this year has been a struggle, big struggle. But not in the first 2 innings tonight. Fewest home runs against lefties, and they have 2 in the first 2 innings. The lowest slugging percentage, and they already have 2 home runs and 2 doubles in the first 2 innings.
There's a new energy on the team. And you can tell. I mean, Pittsburgh, gosh, that was a tough series. That was a really tough series. They were in every game. They battled them. Pittsburgh got a little luck. Had some little luck involved with it, but they made some good plays too. They executed. Pitching was solid.
Still 2 balls, 2 strikes.
First game in Pittsburgh, the Royals had a couple of miscues on defense. It's going to happen.
Jammed him. It's not going to be an easy play for Lugo, and out by half a step. That is the first out of the second inning.
Check out second home run by a Royal in his Royals uniform, excuse me, for Goodwin. Now that ball 401, it's a good thing. If it was 400, it might have been just a ringing double. But see how he came down through the ball, got some good backspin, good level swing. He caught it out front. And that little hop there told me he barreled it, but didn't know if it was going to be enough, and it was.
17 batters have come to the plate, and 9 have scored. 4 have hit home runs. 6 have extra base hits. And Whit Merrifield is 2 for 2. He doubled to open the game. He ended up stealing third, and now he's on with 1 out.
He was so confident today when I was asking him about Boyd. He rattled off some information just right off the tip of his tongue. He was ready. And you could tell, look, he said, I'm going to stay inside the ball, and I'm going to use the opposite field, and there's 91 on his hands. Such a pretty inside-out swing. Puts that oven mitt on to protect his fingers on his left hand. That's the one that tries to get in there with the bat on the bag and want to jam it.
Well, maybe there's just something in the air on September 20th, 2018. Oakland beat the Angels today 21-3. And I'm not talking about the Raiders. Well, we saw Ned Yost with Glenn Sparkman warming up in the bottom of the first inning, and now Zach Reininger is warming up for the Tigers in the top of the second. (21-3).
And that is in that Oakland Alameda County Coliseum. O.co, is that what they call it nowadays? I think it's O.co.
I think it's just back to
Henderson Field.
Henderson Field, Oakland Alameda Coliseum, and Ricky Henderson Field.
Okay.
Shot foul. 0-2 on Mondesi. He struck out in the first inning. And that'll be out of play. Takes a while to spit this one out, but in the 50 years of Royals history, there have been only 3 players age 23 or younger with 10 or more home runs and 25 or more stolen bases. 23 or younger, 10 or more home runs, 25 or more stolen bases. Amos Otis, Carlos Beltran, and now Adalberto Mondesi, who has his first hit. And so much for the Royals' struggles against lefties this year. And here comes Ron Gardenhire. So we're going to get our first pitching change in the top of the second inning.
Whew. Both starting pitchers struggling.
Chevy call to the bullpen. The Royals have scored 2, and they have 2 on with 1 out.
Blue, check it out. A lefty, really? Okay. There it is, Bonifacio. He's barreled him on the inside 93-mile-an-hour fastball for his 4th home run on the year. And then you want left on left. Good one. Good, he got him one. Look at his eyes light up. He caught that perfect. Got some backspin on it. Hit his 2nd in a Royals uniform.
Zach Reininger comes on with 2 on and 1 out.
Yeah, but this is his 15th game. He's gotten beat up a little bit. That ERA's a little bit over 6. But he's not overpowering. 87 and 93, heavy sinking fastball, slider change, curve, 4 of them. Goodwin feeling good about himself. He should. Hit a ball in a deep part of the yard here.
Breaking ball dips low to Dozier. He had a key at bat in the first inning. He reached on an error, and had he been thrown out, the Royals would have been scoreless in the first inning. But the Royals were granted an extra out, and Bonifacio ended up hitting a 3-run home run. That's hit high and deep to left field. Stewart in front of the track will make the play and forces a throw, which was a good one. So Witt did the right thing by holding at second base, and there are 2 down.
That's right. Why tag when you can steal third? We'll see if he attempts. Got the 2 base stealers on. 2 outs. Ooh. Well, you know, Salvi, he is not a small human, but their catcher, Grayson Griner, when he stands up, he towers over Salvi.
Line to left field, and Stewart is back, and he's got it. So Salvi hits it hard. He's 0 for 2. Brian Goodwin hits a 2-run home run to put the Royals back out in front.
Rough first inning, and he'll see if he can right the ship here in the second. Joel Goldberg down by the Royals dugout. Interesting that on Price Chopper Royals Live, Jeff Montgomery said the first inning will be very telling in terms of maybe how he's feeling, getting back into a rhythm. As for the medical side of things, talking to head trainer Nick Kenny, he said that he was good to go. His only advice was maybe next time stay out or get out of the way when the big guys are coming. But a lot of treatment over the last 5-6 days. They just needed time to get it ready. He said he is ready. Now we'll see the rest of the way if there are any issues or not.
Well, we'll see if he can protect the lead. He was not able to do that in the bottom of the first inning, and Matthew Boyd was not able to do it in the top of the second, and he's out already. And the Royals had Sparkman warming up as the Tigers were scoring 4 in the bottom of the first. Pete Kozma, former Cardinal, drops one out into shallow center field, and now tangled up out in there, and Herrera's throw to second base is not in time. Kozma was running hard out of the box and turned that into a double.
Yep, and when it went up, Kozma knew that he had a chance that was going to fall in there. That's just a tweener. That's in between them. Rosie Rosell Herrera, good try. Mondesi's tag wasn't in time. And that happens. Good effort, though.
Nick Lentz, second base umpire, got right in there to make the call. Down and away to Jacoby Jones. He got jammed and blooped a single into right field in the first inning, and that was the first of 5 hits for the Tigers, and they ended up scoring 4 runs.
Secondary pitches. He's going to start using those. The fastball doesn't have the life on it, or at least it did in the first inning. So it's a little surprise. Lots of times we see rough first innings by starters. Usually the second inning they come out, they've settled down, and they've executed the pitches.
Base hit left field. So back come the Tigers, and they have runners at first and third and nobody out.
It is a little bit of run, but this looks to me like Lopez is not finishing his pitches. He's not out over his front and really giving that little whip like off his fingers where that's where he gets that little late life.
And now Lopez will get Kristen Stewart, who hit his first big league home run in the first inning. And Glenn Sparkman goes back to work in the Royals bullpen. Down and in, ball 1.
Barely got out. Up. Easier to put a good swing on a pitch that's up.
High and deep to right field again, and now he has 2 major league home runs. This one is worth 3, and Kristen Stewart has driven in 5 runs in the first 2 innings. And our second pitching change in the second inning. 3-0 Royals, 4-3 Tigers, 5-4 Royals, 7-5 Tigers. And that's just in the first 2 innings.
Wow. Never know.
5 combined home runs, and there's nobody out in the bottom of the second.
Almost looks like the identical pitch to Stewart. That opposite field swing was a breaking ball. It looks impressive. All elevated.
1 of every 2 batter that has come to the plate has scored a run. 24 batters have come to the plate, 12 have scored. Now Sparkman comes on in relief, but essentially gets a clean inning in our Chevy call to the bullpen with nobody on and nobody out. And we'll get Castellanos. Fastball's in for a strike.
Opportunity comes knocking. Be ready. Sparkman, 4-pitch mix, fastball, slider, curve change, low to mid 90s. Will pitch inside effectively.
Fouled back. Castellanos is the subject of our Kia Drive to Success. He's had a good year. That's because he has consistently hit the ball hard. He is 3rd in the major leagues. Whit Merrifield's 5th in the highest line drive rate. Percentage of balls hit him play that are 95 miles an hour or faster, and that one's inside the right field line, and now it gets away from Bonifacio, and Castellanos will go to 3rd. And the Tigers have hit for the cycle with their first 4 batters in the bottom of the second inning.
Yeah, his approach is set up towards right field all the way. That ball's on the outer half, just where he likes it. And ball bounces once, twice by Bonifacio. Fifth triple on the year for him.
And the Royals bring the infield in for Victor Martinez. Martinez doubled into right center field in the first inning and then made a base running mistake and was out on a fielder's choice in between second and third.
Castellanos had 10 triples last year.
Line base hit inside the right field line, and the Tigers take an 8-5 lead, and Victor Martinez has back-to-back doubles. It's like the hitters know what's coming tonight.
Sure does, man. That's a look like a little off-speed changeup down. He's able to hook it. Watch the ball boy. Nice job getting out of the way. If you want offense, this might be the game to come to.
Still nobody out. Jim Adduci. He reached on a fielder's choice in the first inning and scored the Tigers' 4th run. Sparkman, his play is to first. That gets Martinez to third, and that is out number 1 in the bottom of the second. Ronnie Rodriguez had an error which helped the Royals score 3 runs in the top of the first inning, and then he doubled in his first at bat. That's back through the middle. Mondesi fields, and even with the infield back, Martinez doesn't run at all. 2 outs. And here's the 8th man to come up. The Tigers sent 8 to the plate in the first, and now they've sent 8 to the plate in the second inning. Grayson Greiner had a sac fly in the first. And Sparkman throws a strike. One and one. On the ground, base hit left field, and the Tigers, after getting 4 runs in the first, have 5 in the second inning. It is 9-5. Greiner is driven in 2.
They're not missing any mistakes. That's up. That's away. He just reached out, found the hole there.
Both teams are taking out their frustrations at the plate. The Royals were swept in Pittsburgh, and they scored just 2 runs in the last 2 games. The Tigers were swept at home against Minnesota. Now the Royals were in Pittsburgh, and we're telling you all the problems the Tigers have had this year offensively. Well, not tonight. Dowell Lugo, he made the last out of the first inning, and the Royals are hoping he'll make the last out of the second.
Then Sparkman was coming in. His job was to hold him, until the Royals can get more runs out there. Just hadn't worked out for him. Tagging him.
Out of play. Tigers got Lugo last year in the trade that sent JD Martinez to the Diamondbacks. A called 3rd strike. We have achieved the 3rd inning. It is 9-5 Detroit.
This season logo hooded sweatshirt giveaway presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors next Saturday, September 29th. First 15,000 fans through the gates will receive the sweatshirt before watching the Royals take on the Indians at 6:15. Be sure to stay after the game for the Fan Appreciation Fireworks Show.
Well, we haven't had a scoreless half inning yet. And Jorge Bonifacio will lead off the third. He had a 3-run home run in the first. The Royals are off to a great start. And who would have imagined that it would be 9-5 Detroit going into the third inning. Bonifacio's hit a 3-run home run, and Brian Goodwin has hit a 2-run home run. Zach Reininger, no balls, 2 strikes. He took over and got the last 2 outs for Boyd in the second.
Yeah, you know what? See, he didn't hit it all that hard. We've seen a lot more exit velo, a lot higher than 92.3, but still, look, he kind of jammed him some, but he got it up, and surprising the wind didn't hold that one in, because there is a nice little breeze coming in here at Comerica Park from left field.
One ball, 2 strikes. The leadoff man has reached in each of the first 4 half innings and scored. Still 1-2. Foul ball went screaming back into the press box to our right.
It's up.
That didn't look like, here's a souvenir.
That looked like an angry toss.
Yeah, exactly.
What the heck?
It's not the fans' fault.
Do I have to make a trip over there?
Tough hop. Cosma, a stretch by Adduci. Did he come off the bag? No, says first base umpire Brian Gorman, and that's the first time the leadoff man has been retired tonight.
Well, did his foot come off the base? That's the only question.
The Royals believe so. It's good play by the veteran Cosmo at short. Jose Iglesias is out with an abdominal strain, and his season is over. Saw Pete Cosma in interleague play when he was with the Cardinals, and he had some stretches where he was the Cardinals' starting shortstop, including the 2012 season when Rafael Furcal was injured. He finished the year as the Cardinals' starting shortstop. Herrera lined to center his first time up. Two and one. So Iglesias is done for the year. Miguel Cabrera was injured very early in the year. John Hicks, who has been their designated hitter and first baseman, he's done for the year. That's a close play at first because Reiniger couldn't find the grip, and he gets Herrera for the second out. And Michael Fulmer, who was scheduled to pitch in this series, is done for the year. Our University of Kansas Health System injury report update. He had some torn cartilage in his right knee, and he had surgery today. And it was a struggle for Fulmer this year, and you wonder how much or how long the knee was bothering him, going 3-12 with a 4.69 earned run average.
Lower part of your body is just as important as the upper part. Gotta have them both working.
Escobar doubled and had a good at bat against Matthew Boyd in the second inning. He was down 1-2. He got the count to 3-2. He doubled and scored on Goodwin's home run, and now he drops one out into left field, and Esky is 2 for 2.
Good, nice and easy, full swing, jam shot. We'll take it.
That is the 18th hit tonight. We are not in the 8th inning. We are not in the 5th inning. We're in the 3rd inning. The Tigers have 11. The Royals have 7. Brian Goodwin hit a 2-run home run in one of the deepest parts of this ballpark in the 2nd inning. Scoring Escobar, who just happens to be at first base with 2 outs. Two 2-0. Goodwin at the time was just trying to pull something to the right side. Escobar was at second with nobody out, and he was able to accomplish that and then some. 2-1. Goodwin tried to stay back on a breaking ball, and he fouls it away. Fastball got him looking at 95, so that is the first scoreless half inning tonight. The Tigers lead 9-5. Baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket played gives back to Missouri schools, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. And by Chevrolet, the most awarded and fastest growing brand the last 4 years overall. Find yours at your Kansas City area Chevy dealers. (9-5) Tigers. The Michigan National Guard is on its way unless order can be restored here. And the Tigers just turned in the first scoreless half inning, and now Sparkman will try to do the same in the bottom of the 3rd.
Fans are still in their seats.
That will be out of play. Pete Kozma also led off the second inning, and he doubled. Tigers had a 4-run first and a 5-run second inning. Now a bloop, and Herrera goes out and makes a play. And so the Tigers have their leadoff man retired for the first time tonight.
Kozma, he tried to doink another one in there, like he did the previous at bat, got a double out of it. Rosie just outrun that. Rosell Herrera, watch this. He's going to accelerate. He says, oh, this is mine all the way. Showing some nice athleticism no matter where you put him.
Jacoby Jones has 2 hits and 2 runs scored. Both hits have been on fastballs. He is hitting just .214 this year. There's a slider outside. And Jones, who is a terrific athlete, a very good defensive center fielder, the last thing he needs to prove is that he can hit. There's a fastball right by him, and Hud, you brought this up 100 times, that if you can't hit a fastball, you're not going to play in the big leagues.
No, and you know what he fights? He fights his power. He's got really good pop. 11 this year. And that sometimes will hurt you. You got to find out who you are. He's got excellent speed. Maybe they work with him. Lloyd McClendon, their hitting coach, shorten up his swing a little bit, get on base, maybe bring some bunting in. I mean, that was a short swing there.
On to see, throws him out.
That's the kind of swing you want if you're a guy like him. Get on base. But he fights with his power. Power sometimes messes a guy up.
Good change of speed there. They had him geared up for the fastball, and Jones was out in front. Sparkman came on after the Tigers had scored 3 last inning, and he had a clean inning. Nobody on, nobody out. But he gave up a couple of runs on 3 hits, and now he's 1 batter away from a 3-up, 3-down inning. If he can get past Kristen Stewart, who had never hit a big league home run before tonight. He had only played in 10 big league games, and he's hit 2. And he's driven in 5 of the 9 runs. 2-0.
First home run was a heater up. This one here had a little bit more force behind it. 102.5 and went a lot further. That was a breaking ball.
Three balls and no strikes. Deep left field, and Goodwin runs it down. Well, we just found out that Stewart is the first Tiger ever, and this is an old franchise, to hit 2 home runs in his first 11 games, and he almost just hit his 3rd. For Built for Baseball, brought to you by T-Mobile, and it was a loud first 2 innings here tonight.
Whoo, man, look at the swings and listen to the knocks. Pass out some earplugs. This game's far from over. I'll say frenzy hitting on both sides.
And the rookie, Kristen Stewart, playing in just his 11th game, already has 2 home runs and 5 RBIs. The first Tiger in history to accomplish that. 2 home runs, 5 RBIs in his first 11 games. No Tiger had ever accomplished that before tonight.
Yeah, congratulations to him. As long as this game's been played, and the Tigers, man, they're one of the very first franchises. That's saying something when you're the first one.
First round pick and their minor league player of the year this year and other years. Phillips grounded out to second base in the second inning.
When you're in a position like the Tigers are, Royals, you know, we're seeing a lot of opportunities for young players to get chances. They're seeing what they can get an opportunity for Stewart to be their left fielder every day. You know, he's built for this park because the ball really flies out in right field like that, so he's all set. Of course, he wants to finish strong.
Out of play. Buck Farmer, a right-hander, is beginning his warm-up routine. Still 3-2 on Phillips. He is still feeling the effects of that collision with the wall in Cleveland, and it just happened to be his throwing arm, and he's been told that he can't injure it any worse. It may hurt, but he can't injure it any badly than it is right now. He just needs the offseason to let it rest.
Yeah, he needs a little cool down period. Mo lottery replay shows Renninger just rearing back. He throws a little bit harder than I believe he threw. He has some 95 in him. Another young guy trying to make an impression. 6'3", 200 pounds, 25 years old.
Breaking ball is low. Witt is already 2 for 2. He has a double, a single, a stolen base, and a run scored. And he has 3 hits tonight. 3 hits in the first 4 innings. That's the 12th time this year that Witt has had a game of 3 or more hits. And it leads us into our sprint trivia question. Name the last pair of American League teammates to each steal 30 bases in the same season. Mondesi is 4 away from accomplishing that. He has 26. The last pair of American League teammates, each with 30 or more stolen bases. We'll spit it out.
You like to reference Cleveland a lot. I mean, Kenny Lofton.
You're turning red as a tomato over there.
I'm
You're so excited.
I'm thinking we got
say it.
Well, Lofton.
Okay.
And Alomar.
All right.
It's not an official guess. I'm just throwing you something to write down.
I think that's a very good guess.
Thank you. It's about time. You've been carrying the road trip.
Well, not the entire road trip. I mean, you got Tony Womack.
Yeah, that's right. I did pull out one. That's because I was still playing and I remembered him. A long time ago. 100 years ago. Look at Witt. 3-hit Witt. See him peeking? That's a secret that a lot of base stealers use. Get about 2 feet off the bag. Keep your head locked on the pitcher and then just move your eyes, and that way they don't catch you peeking. And look at the catcher's signals, and if you see more than one finger, that means that it's going to be an off-speed pitch and you have a better chance to steal the base because the ball gets to the plate slower. It's a little trick. Help your stolen base percentage.
Into the left field corner. That's a long run for Stewart, and he gets there. He almost overran it, but he ran a mile. That's a good play. 2 outs as Merrifield sprints back to first base. Have a night.
Ball was slicing too on him. I didn't know if he was going to be able to get to it, so showing a little bit of speed. He covered a lot of ground. Ooh, that was a fair ball too. It would have been. And Witt did the right thing, by the way. Look at that, boy. I'll tell you what, that hit the heel of the glove. Lucky it didn't pop out. Witt went all the way to second base and had that ball drop, probably could have scored. It was a good base running decision on his part. He hustled back.
Hunter Dozier reached on an air, stole a base, and scored in the first inning. And he's flied out to left field.
Another little trick I just watched with that right foot. You open that right foot up just a little bit, you turn a little bit towards second base, it already clears your hips a little bit, so it really cuts down the time when you get into full speed. Watch his right foot right here. It's open a little bit, it's pointing towards second base. Quicker you can get off, the better chances you have to steal the base. It's like a track runner out of the blocks.
Didn't quite like his jump, so he stopped. And you have to hit it a mile to center field here. And Dozier does. He hits it 1 mile and 30 feet off of Zach Reininger. And the Royals get 2 in the 4th inning to make it a 2-run game.
Exit velo 106. Jeez, crackers, that ball was hit. Man, and it was loud. I could tell he barreled it, but I didn't have any idea it was going to go over the first level. The first little row of hedges there. That's what you call lifted. Man, that's 93 at the bottom of the zone. He picked it up and lifted it way over there. Jacoby Jones, wow. He wanted to bring it back. What a stroke.
Both teams have 3 home runs. Buck Farmer comes on with nobody on, 2 out. center field with the wind blowing in. You can hit the ball out of anywhere.
Grand Canyon National Park is not safe with Dozier. Look at this. Exit velo 106, 439. And there was no chance. I mean, that's where the pitch was impressive. If that's belt high, it's a little bit easier to say, oh, well, he had one up in the middle. That he lifted on his own. That's what you train a big league power hitter to do. Lift the ball out of the park in Grand Canyon like this place is. Impressive.
And that's a strength for him. He got a fastball down and he hit it 439 feet, and that's nothing new for Dozier this year with a high slugging percentage on low fastballs. So you have to think twice when you say keep the ball down on Dozier.
Yeah, I'm going to throw him some high cheese. Hit a ball like that.
One ball, two strikes on Salvador Perez.
I don't think that's the farthest home run we've seen off of a Royals bat this year, but really one of the most impressive, I think. You?
Oh, yeah. Here with the wind blowing in.
All right. Buck Farmer, better be careful. Ball's flying.
It's going to be a long throw for Rodriguez. It's on a bounce, and a Ducey swipes at it. And that ends the inning. The Royals get another 2-out home run, this one from Dozier, to make it 9-7.
You just never know. Don't leave your seat, folks. Parents and grandparents, the perfect gift for your young Royals fan is now 50% off. Purchase the 2018 Sluggers Blue Crew box for just $15. Membership includes a jersey, flat bill cap, drawstring bag, 2 compression sleeves, 2 ticket vouchers, and much more. Purchase your discounted membership now at the stadium or online at royals.com/Blue Crew.
Hunter Dozier with 10 home runs. And Ryan O'Hearn with 11. They're the first Royals rookies in double digits in the same year in 15 years. Back in 03, Angel Baroa and Ken Harvey. Baroa would go on to be American League Rookie of the Year that season. And those guys had full seasons in the big leagues. Castellanos has homered and tripled, so he's got a good shot at hitting for the cycle tonight, getting the 2 most difficult hits out of the way. 7 runs were charged to Lopez, 2 to Sparkman, and then Sparkman had a 1-2-3 third inning. Both managers made pitching changes in the second inning. Matthew Boyd gave up 5 runs in an inning and a third, and Jorge Lopez gave up 7 runs in 1 inning plus 3 batters. One and 2 on Castellanos. Two and 2.
You know, Castellanos, he'd be a tough guy to pitch to. He loves to hit to the right side of the field. You jam him inside with a good hard fastball, he fights it off and he'll shoot it to right. You know, you stay away from him, he goes to right anyway. So it's hard to get him to pull the ball. He's a right-handed Joe Mauer with a little pop.
Well, the Tigers tonight notwithstanding have not had a good year on offense, a very disappointing year, but Castellanos has been impressive. Those were his American League rankings coming into tonight. So he has 2 more hits and another multi-hit game. And he grounds it out to Herrera with an inside out swing, and Rosie throws him out, 1 away in the 4th.
You look at all the great hitters in the, you know, that hit high for average. You know, they use the whole field. There's hardly any one batting title holder that ever was a dead pull hitter. Just too hard to do.
Victor Martinez has 2 doubles and an RBI. Escobar backhands and has time. He knows it. And there are 2 outs. So Sparkman is settled in after giving up the 2 runs back in the 2nd inning. He has set down 8 of the last 9. And you'll get Jim Adduci with 2 down. That hit Salvi and it hit the home plate umpire Adrian Johnson. Salvi says, that hit you too? Chopped out to Escobar. So Sparkman has another 1-2-3 inning. And he has set down 9 of the last 10. At the end of 4, the Royals trail by 2. Kansas City is brought to you by Jeep. Hurry into the Jeep Adventure Days event for a great deal. And by Pizza Ranch. Hungry for legendary pizza and chicken? It's Pizza Ranch for the win. It is the 5th inning, and it is 9-7 Detroit. Both teams have hit 3 home runs, and we've only had 3 out of 8 scoreless half innings. Jorge Bonifacio got the scoring started with a 3-run home run in the 1st inning off of Matthew Boyd. That's pulled foul. No balls, 2 strikes. The Royals got 3 in the 1st. The Tigers got 4 in the 1st. The Royals answered with 2 in the 2nd. Detroit answered with 5 in the 2nd. Neither team scored in the 3rd. And then the Royals got 2 in the 4th.
Got a home plate umpire.
And Adrian Johnson was hit by a foul ball last half inning. And a play.
I'm still trying to think about our trivia question.
I've written down a few.
Okay.
You liked Lofton and Alomar.
Yep.
I was trying to think of something more recent. What about the running Rays?
I was thinking about Carl Crawford too.
Yep.
But who else would have been his?
Ben Zobrist,
Side
B.J.
kick.
Upton.
B.J. Upton.
I was thinking about, what about the Astros? I think they led the major leagues in stolen bases last year.
Springer maybe.
Springer and Altuve possibly.
Okay. And then what about Byron Buxton and maybe Dozier?
30.
Oh,
I think
30.
Dozier had 30.
No, I forgot. I thought it was 20. Wow. That ain't gonna work.
Bonifacio is down on strikes.
Cheer on everyone's favorite Gold Glover, Alex Gordon, in his reserved fan section. Tickets are just $35, include your seat in left field, a big Gordo head, and a premium Gordo Nation shirt. Don't miss the last Gordo Nation of the season. It's next Thursday versus Cleveland. Get your tickets now at Royals.com/team tickets and make Alex feel good out there. He absolutely loves that day.
Rosel Herrera has lined to center and grounded back to the mound. On the ground to Lugo. 2 outs in the 5th inning. Our trivia question with Adalberto Mondesi on the edge of 30 stolen bases. Who are the last pair of American League teammates with 30 or more stolen bases each in the same season? What do you think about Crawford and Upton?
I like it.
All right. Carl Crawford and B.J. Upton. Strike 1.
How about the Rangers? Kinsler, maybe when he was a Ranger, but that's been a while.
Rodriguez goes down to a knee and then throws it on a bounce, and it gets away from Adduci. And if that's a hit, that's 3 for Escobar tonight.
Give him a hit.
And it is.
Stay hot, Esky. Cook gloves it. One knee. You know what? Might have had a little bit more time, but Aducci just kind of messed up his glove there. Didn't turn it the right way.
And now Brian Goodwin. He's 1 for 2 with a long home run to right center field in the second inning. Grounds it to Aducci, and he boxes that one. And with 2 outs, the Royals get a pair of infield hits. Actually, that's a hit or an error on Aducci, so 2 base runners with 2 outs.
Hard head there, that second hop. He tried to keep it in front of him and hit off the palm of his glove. Whoop.
So a misplay by Aducci, which resulted in a hit and then an error. And there are 2 on for Phillips. Brett has grounded to second and struck out. Up the middle, Lugo backhands, throws. Aducci grabs that one, and that's the inning. 1 hit, 1 error, 2 left. Here's our Jeep drives of the game.
And there's been plenty of them. 6 total drives. 3 apiece on each team. And they, there was a couple of wall scrapers, but not this one. Wow, Dozier put a charge into one dead center for his 10th. Pretty amazing how Hunter Dozier is finishing the season just like you want. Extremely strong defensively and offensively. He's relaxed and he believes he belongs. That's the whole key. You got to perform, but you know you got to be loose too.
Ronnie Rodriguez leads off the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 balls, 2 strikes against Sparkman. Sparkman came on with nobody on and nobody out after the Tigers had scored 3 in the second, and then he gave up 2 runs. But now he's set down 9 of the last 10. Rodriguez has his second hit, and the Tigers have their leadoff man on.
Went with it. 95 on the outside. Good swing.
And now Grayson Greiner. He's driven in a couple of runs tonight. 6'6" Tiger catcher. He got his first big league hit in his first big league at bat at Kauffman Stadium back in May with a single against Jacob Junis. He was called up when Miguel Cabrera went on the disabled list. Out of the University of South Carolina, but he was gone by the time Whit Merrifield had, or Whit was gone by the time Greiner got there. And if you go to South Carolina, you hate Clemson. So you grow up hating the Tigers, and then suddenly you are on the Tigers.
That's right.
Just different.
Yeah, yeah.
Three and one. Greiner looks down at third base coach Dave Clark. Lifted into the right field corner. Foul. 3 and 2. That's worth being tired at school tomorrow. It is past 9 o'clock on a school night, and we're only in the bottom of the 5th inning. Runner going, and it's fouled away. So with that big smile, let's make him our Pepsi fan of the game. And I think the young man behind him with the Detroit Mercy gray t-shirt performed the national anthem tonight.
Oh, okay.
Ronnie Rodriguez is at first base. And Rodriguez is running, and that's ball 4. So the Tigers have 2 on with nobody out. Sparkman has thrown 50 pitches, and they're working again in the Royals bullpen. That's Ben Lively. And here comes pitching coach Cal Eldred.
It's a whole new ball game with RBI Baseball 18. RBI Baseball 18 delivers an all-new franchise mode and much more. RBI Baseball 18 is available now. Learn more at rbigame.com. Rated E for everyone.
Noel Lugo comes on with 2 on, nobody out, and he's checking to see if the Tigers want him to bunt. Dave Clark rolling through the signs. Royals will play with Dozier in at first and Escobar's in at third.
Lugo had a full season in Toledo this year. Played 123 games, 509 at bats, 26 doubles. He's a speed guy, run a little bit. Not a whole lot of pop. Stole 12. They're hoping he can become a power hitter.
One ball, one strike.
Cal Eldred told Sparkman, hey, one pitch you can get a double play if you keep the ball down. Have him roll over to Mondesi right there and we'll get two.
And there's the ground ball. So Sparkman is obviously very coachable. Listening to what Cal Eldred told him
He's all
what to do.
He'll score some points that
Yep.
way. How about that? That is exactly what he told him. First man sure, second man quick.
And now Pete Kozma, who comes to the plate with The Ocean by Led Zeppelin playing. And I'm guessing most of his teammates in the dugout are going, who's that?
Yeah. This is the 9th game that Mondesi and Herrera have teamed up the middle together. Eventually, when the championship core rolls around, they'll have to be consistent with their shortstop and second baseman. I think we have a pretty good idea who's going to be the shortstop.
Right to Herrera. So Sparkman bounces back after giving up a single and a walk, and it's still 9-7 Detroit at the end of 5. Home runs already tonight, and among the 22 hits, Whit Merrifield has 3, and now the Royals will see Victor Alcantara with Merrifield, Mondesi, and Dozier coming up.
Alcantara, he's got some impressive numbers. His 25th game now, 2.33 ERA, 20 strikeouts in 27 innings, and a nice opponent average. Low to mid 90s fastball with some good movement, slider, changeup.
Well, it's a good night to be a Sonic Slam inning contestant. Our contestant is Kathy Troutman from Osawatomie. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Kathy wins $700. If the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Kathy wins $25,000 from Sonic and the Royals. And it was here in Detroit when Abraham Almonte hit his Sonic slam earlier this year. Contra got it in on Witt's hands, and Cosma brings it down. One pitch and one out. Here's Mondesi trying to add to this trivia question with 4 stolen bases away from 30 to join Merrifield. So who was the last pair of American League teammates with 30 or more stolen bases in the same season? Carl Crawford and BJ Upton is incorrect. Do you like Springer and Altuve?
Yep.
George Springer and Jose Altuve. Strike 2. We've gotten a clue. It's happened within the last 5 seasons. So that takes Lofton and Alomar out.
Yep.
And it takes my first guess, Crawford and Upton out. So
it wasn't anybody on our team
from 2014 through 2018. Lugo throws out Mondesi. There are 2 down. Well, what about
we should get this one.
I think you mentioned Kinsler, but I think he was here by then. Elvis Andrus, he is a 30 stolen base guy, isn't he?
Yeah. And how about the second baseman? Did he steal?
Odor?
Yep.
Trout and somebody?
Didn't have anybody there.
Cole Calhoun? Peter Borges? No?
Not feeling it. Seattle. Cano doesn't run anymore. Segura.
Seattle. No.
Ichiro's not running. He's retired. But
Coco Crisp and somebody in Oakland.
How about Rajai Davis
and Coco Crisp
and Kipnis? Do you steal 30? I know Davis has.
Well, Davis and Crisp were together in Oakland, I think.
Yeah, but since 14, I don't know.
I give up. Oh, they're showing Eske.
I thought it was us.
Kane and
it could have
Eske?
been. How about Kane and Eske? Ding, 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 ding.
to the bottom of the 6th inning. And they're all huddled around Victor Alcantara, but smiling in the Tiger dugout. It was right before our very eyes, the answer to our trivia question.
We saw it. Shame on me. I gotta chip in one time. They showed Esky when they asked the question. We should have figured that out.
Ben Lively. He took the loss on Monday in Pittsburgh, giving up the walk-off hit to Jacob Stallings in the bottom of the 9th inning. 2 balls and no strikes. Ball came up and got Salvador Perez, I think, on his left wrist.
Yep, that hurt. 94 miles an hour, and it hits off the side of the glove like that sometimes. Let's show you. He hit. Fastball slider change.
3-0 on Jones.
Why are we having a hard time?
In that game on Monday, remember, he had the leadoff walk, and then that hard hit ground ball to Dozier, who was in, and the Royals turned a double play, and then a walk and 2 hits, with the second hit being the walk off by Stallings. 3-2. It is 9-7 in the 6th inning. It was 9-5 at the end of 2 innings. Fouled back just to our right. Lifted to shallow center field. Mondesi goes out, and he's got it. So a good comeback there for Lively after falling behind 3-0.
Fans enjoy $5 tickets with Price Chopper Ballpark deals. Available now exclusively through the Ballpark app. Get a $5 ticket for the Friday, September 28th Royals game versus the Indians. For more information, visit royals.com/ballparkdeal.
Stewart takes low. Kristen Stewart has hit his first 2 big league home runs tonight, and he did it in the first 2 innings, becoming the first Tiger ever with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in his first 11 big league games. 2-0. Good location. 2 balls and 1 strike.
Did you ever have any trouble this year going to sleep after missing trivia? Because I've had some issues. This really might be the
Not
worst.
one time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really? I should have known that. I beat myself up.
Well, you can stare at the ceiling all you want tonight.
You'll be all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
3 balls, 2 strikes.
Remember the vroom vroom and all that action and Dyson and that's when Esky was running wild. That's some good times.
Herrera turns around and throws out Stewart. 2 down. In order to be a good trivia guy, you have to have short memory, Hud.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Whether you get it or not,
Okay.
You just have to let it go and turn the page and move on to the next one.
Thank you.
You can't let one failure at the trivia question carry over into the next day.
Why didn't you give me this talk 3 months ago?
Monty taught me that.
I would have been able to have some sleep. You know? I'll try to move on. It's like booting one when I was out there in the field. I booted several. I was able to move past that quickly because the camera was on you. You couldn't let them see you, you know, with your head down and kick in the dirt.
Lively's doing it the hard way this inning. He's falling behind the hitters, but he's been able to come back and get Jones and Stewart. He was 3-0 on Jones, then 3-2, 2-0 on Stewart, and now he's 3-0 on Castellanos. Castellanos is on with 2 down. When he made his Royals debut, we were saying that that's a great name for a pitcher who relies on movement. Lively. And he needs movement because he's not a strikeout pitcher. Right now having some difficulty harnessing that movement.
Got a nice arm and interesting delivery, a real kind of a throwback drop and drive type of delivery. Really stays low to the ground.
Deep to right center field, but there is a lot of room out there, and that is the inning. So it's a scoreless 6th for Ben Lively. 9-7 Tigers to the 7th. He's sitting down for this one. That's a 3-run home run for Jorge Bonifacio in the first inning. A 2-run home run for Kristen Stewart in the first inning, followed by a solo home run by Nicholas Castellanos. In the second inning, that's a 2-run home run from Brian Goodwin. And in the bottom of the second, that's a 3-run home run from Stewart, his first 2 big league home runs. And Hunter Dozier with the most impressive of the 6 home runs tonight. That is to straightaway center field here, which is 420. So we've seen 6 home runs. We have seen 22 hits, 13 extra base hits, and it is 9-7 in the 7th inning as Alex Wilson becomes the Tigers' 5th pitcher tonight, and he'll get Perez, Bonifacio, and Herrera. Other than that, it's been a great night to pitch.
Yeah, exactly. It was impressive. That little 2-iron shot. That's a Montgomery 2-iron, by the way, that Dozier pulled out to go dead center here. That was really straight as a string and perfectly struck. But Alex Wilson, 31 years old. Good, consistent reliever. Hard sinker, slider change, 89 to 95. He's got that. I don't know if he has that kind of velocity at this time of the year. Reliable. Strike thrower. Good pitcher. He's got excellent movement. Heck of a sinker. Free agent next year. He's in his 5th season.
They change the rules then?
I don't know. It says no.
Don't you need 6?
Yeah. No, he's not a free agent. But he's signed through 18. That's what I saw.
So he's free to sign back with the Tigers next year.
Yeah, I was getting a little excited. I got carried away. Sorry. Thanks for helping me.
You thinking about starting up a team?
No, I just like the guy. Every time we watch this guy pitch, he's solid. He gets the job done. He's a trustworthy reliever, and there are not many of those around. Every time he comes in, shuts us down.
Bonifacio hits to center field and deep, but not deep enough. Jones is there.
Join Fox Sports Kansas City on September 30th for the special day at the K. Every ticket purchase will benefit the special needs community in Kansas City. Get your tickets at royals.com/special day. We can't wait to see all of you there to celebrate a very special day with special needs kids and their families.
Rosell Herrera is 0 for 3 tonight. One ball, one strike.
I was informed that Alex Wilson's ERA against the Royals, 4.99, and I am not.
Well, like you said, every time he comes in, he shuts down the Royals.
I am
except for all those other times when we knocked him all around downtown Detroit.
I am not his agent, but I like him. He's down in the zone and he pitches to contact.
Actually, I think you'd be a great agent for him.
That's right. Just be quiet.
Herrera has reached base every time he's come to the plate tonight, except for his line out to center and his 2 ground outs.
Ball in there.
And that's in for a base hit. And extra bases. I think you need to go meet Alex Wilson.
Yeah.
You might need to take a selfie with him.
I'm happy for Herrera here. 13th double. Little slicer. Sliced it down the left field line.
Escobar is 3 for 3. And he has a good swing against Wilson. Well, maybe it's something in the Michigan air this time of year. Because the last time Esky had a 4-hit game was here in September. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Time for another one.
Yep.
Get greedy. Drive in a run. He is hit 244 with a runner in scoring position. That's a lot better than it was early in the season, or midway through anyway. He's picking it up by using the whole field.
Hooks it on the ground to short. Kozma throws. Nice play. It is stretch time in Detroit, and the Tigers lead the Royals 9-7. It was 9-5 at the end of 2 tonight. Refreshing saves from Price Chopper and Aquafina. Sign up at mypricechopper.com/saves to save on Aquafina when the Royals get a save. It's not a save situation for Mauer. He's just trying to keep the score right here. The Tigers, by the way, have not scored since the 2nd inning. Detroit got 7 against Lopez. Jorge went 1 inning, and then he faced 3 batters in the 2nd. Sparkman came on, and he gave up 2 runs in the 2nd inning, but then he finished with 3 scoreless innings. And Ben Lively just pitched a scoreless 6th. So there was a lot of damage done in the first 2 innings, but Tigers haven't scored since. And with Dozier's home run in the 4th inning, the Royals are down by 2. Good slider. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Jim Adduci.
He's got a good slider. He's been throwing a lot of them. Hard fastball, 98, mid to upper 90s. Changeup.
He went around. Good start for Mauer. 1 down in the bottom of the 7th.
Looking fastball. Couldn't stop it.
I remember being here at the end of July last season when the Royals acquired Brandon Mauer and Ryan Buchter. Remember, they showed up in the middle of the game.
Yeah.
Walked into the dugout with big smiles, going from a non-contending team to a contending team, and met their new teammates and then walked out together to the Royals bullpen. Trevor Cahill arrived a day or 2 later.
Yep.
Hard slider is outside. It's 3-0 on Ronnie Rodriguez.
Booker's doing a nice job out there in Oakland.
So is Trevor Cahill.
Oh man, talk about bounce back.
Man.
Oh, he wasn't healthy here.
Yeah, he was. I think he went on the disabled list 3 different times last year.
It was a tough year for him.
Escobar has a lot of foul ground to work with, and he's got it. 2 outs in the 7th.
Hey, bear up, Missouri State fans. Purchase a theme ticket at Royals.com/theme ticket for an exclusive Royals cap featuring Missouri State logo and colors. Cheer on both your favorite teams next Friday, September 28th, as we celebrate our first annual Missouri State Night presented by Fox Sports Kansas City and Rally House.
And at some point in this series, I expect that we will see Matt Hall, who is from Lee Summit West and eventually pitched at Missouri State. He was just called up by the Tigers. 2-0 on Grayson Greiner. 3 balls and no strikes. Three and 1. Three balls, 2 strikes. Tigers have 1 hit since the 2nd inning, and it was a single. Greiner's on with 2 down. Tigers had 9 runs, 10 hits, 3 home runs in the first 2 innings. And since the 2nd inning, 1 single.
Yeah, interesting. Fizz was telling me before the game, Steve Fizziak, this is my 10,000th game or so. I think he was just saying that. And I go, really? Well, you're going to see something tonight you've never seen before in them other 10,000 games. And, you know, you just never know. Yeah. They could have broke all the records tonight, we'd have thought, but everything's been shut down now since the 4th inning. The Royals got 2.
This is Fizz is wrapping up his 62nd big league season, reaching 10,000 games.
That's what he told me.
I wasn't aware of that. I mean, we should celebrate that, shouldn't we?
I said, look, I don't care how many games you watch, you're going to see something tonight you've never seen. That's the way the game is.
In the 8th inning, the Royals have Goodwin, Phillips, and Merrifield. Rolled out to the right side, and Herrera from the grass, and the ball sailed on him. And before you say anything, Hud, I am going to assume that you would want him to charge that ball instead of staying back on it.
Right, and how many times do we talk about when an infielder goes back on the ball, you're looking for trouble, and especially if he can run. And I'm going to take the blame for that, as I've been bragging on how Rosie hasn't erred all year. That's my error. I jinxed him.
Inside to Pete Kozma. And the Tigers make it hurt. Throw goes to third, and on its way to third, Kozma goes into second. So there have been some painful errors tonight. One for the Tigers and now one for the Royals, and Detroit leads 10-7.
'96 elevated Cosma, short, compact swing. He's not much of a power hitter, but he hurt him there.
And now Jones pounds it foul. The first painful error was back in the top of the first inning. Ronnie Rodriguez at third committed an error on a ground ball by Dozier. Had he made that play, the Royals would have been out of the inning with the next batter. Salvador Perez then flied to center. That would have been the third out, but because of the error, Salvi's fly out was the second out, and then Bonifacio hit a 3-run home run. And now an error in the 7th inning extends the inning for Detroit, and it's 1-1 on Jones with 2 runners in scoring position. Two balls, 1 strike. Three balls, 1 strike. Kristen Stewart, the rookie who's hit 2 home runs, is on deck. Threw it right by him, and Jones has had trouble with a fastball. We were talking about that earlier tonight. Now both of his hits have been against fastballs, but that's been his Achilles heel as a big leaguer. And a breaking ball dips low to load the bases. Now you got a young guy feeling pretty good coming to the plate with the bases loaded, 2 down. Kristen Stewart is our Pizza Ranch for the win.
Well, I might use a few sliders on him in this situation. A couple of homers, first, second of his career.
Changeup. So he was geared up. He knew Mauer threw hard, and I'm sure his hitting coach, as they were going over Brandon Mauer, Lloyd McClendon, said, "You better be ready. This guy throws hard." And the Royals were 1 step ahead of him. One ball, 1 strike. So 2 home runs, 5 RBIs, becoming the first Tiger ever to have 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in his first 11 games. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in 1 game among his first 11. Two and two. Now 3 and 2 with the runners going.
Got to come in there now.
Lined into the right field corner. Foul. Had that been fair, you're looking at an 8 RBI night.
Wow. And it wasn't fouled by much. He went with a slider. Good pitch. Kid stayed on it. And what do you do now? You try a high fastball with him, or you gonna go back to another slider? He was on that slider.
That is inside, so he'll settle for 6 RBIs with a bases loaded walk. And the Tigers in the 7th inning have 2 runs on 1 hit. There's been an error, a costly error now, and 3 walks in the inning.
Yeah, you know what? That wasn't a bad pitch. You know, that's his best pitch, I would say. Maybe his slider is, but you know, you don't want to get beat on your 3rd best pitch. So at least he didn't throw him a changeup, but he went after him with the heat and just missed.
And now Jake Newberry warms up. It's been a long inning for Mauer. He's thrown 34 pitches and several since the Herrera error. There were 2 outs and nobody on. Griner walked. And then Lugo is at the plate, and he chopped one to the right side, and Rosell Herrera went to the outfield grass to get a big hop, and then Lugo was running hard up the line, and his throw to first sailed on him, and that extended the inning.
You know, a lot of these guys are new. Lugo's new, and I don't think Herrera expected him to get down the line that fast. Pulled the throw.
And now it's Mauer and Castellanos. Grounded to 3rd, and that'll lead Eske to the bag and end the inning. But the Tigers get 2 big runs in the bottom of the 7th, so the Royals are down to their last 6 outs on offense and down by 4. See how the pitchers bounce back tomorrow in game 2. Ian Kennedy, who's been outstanding in his 2 starts since coming back from the disabled list, will go up against Francisco Liriano. Same time tomorrow with Price Chopper Royals live at 5:30 Kansas City time, and the first pitch at 6:10. The Royals are here for 4. Saturday night and Sunday afternoon. Kristen Stewart has a 6 RBI game. 2 home runs and 5 RBIs on the home runs, and then the bases loaded walk in the 7th. Now Tigers starter James McCann gets back at the plate before the 8th inning with Joe Jimenez to face Goodwin, Phillips, and Merrifield.
Stewart had 1 RBI to begin the game tonight in 35 at bats.
Ball 1 to Goodwin.
Jimenez has a good live arm, 93 to 98. Hard slider, changeup. 6'3", 272.
1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Foul tip. 2-2. Jimenez is Detroit's 6th pitcher. And a full count. Phillips is on deck. And we'll do it again. Good one. That home run he hit in the 2nd inning. I don't care if you're Brian Goodwin or Jim Thome. That's a tough place to hit a home run in this ballpark.
Yep, you don't see many go out there.
That wall really falls back in deepest right center field. And he chased one up and out of the strike zone, and he knows it. And that's one out in the 8th inning. And now Phillips with one down. If the Royals hit a triple in tonight's game, the Kansas City Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Kansas City Urban Youth Academy. And Brett, speaking of, has agreed to join us at our Gloves for Kids event at the Urban Youth Academy on the 29th.
That's awesome.
Brett is 0 for 3.
What time is that event?
11 a.m.
Okay.
Saturday the 29th. Guys have been great. Got a nice group signing up to be there. It's the Futures weekend, and minor leaguers will be on Friday night. So it's always a fun night. We'll be getting their Player and Pitcher of the Year awards before the game. Phillips is down.
Will you have some of them at the event?
They are going to give a free clinic at the Gloves for Kids event, so the kids can come out. They can get some autographs. They can get a free clinic from the Futures guys. I'm talking to the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum about discounted tickets. So while you're at the 18th and Vine District, go over and check out the museum.
Wow, that's awesome. That's a week from this coming Saturday.
Yep. So we'll have more details coming up.
What a good opportunity for the young minor leaguers to get out there and teach the kids.
Thank Kyle Venna for helping us out with that.
There you go, Kyle.
Whit Merrifield has 3 hits. And Jimenez, well, he means business in this inning. He has 2 strikeouts, and now he's 0-2 on Merrifield.
And he's just real smooth. Nice compact delivery. Downhill angle. Clean delivery.
Now a little hesitation.
Yeah,
and it's fouled away.
Something a veteran pitcher would do. He's just 23 years old. That guy's happy.
That's not right. That is not right. That guy's just messing around on his phone and not watching the game. And a foul ball just essentially drops in his lap. And now take a picture of me.
All right, he's giving it up.
Good for her.
Yeah. There you go.
Good for her.
Got another one coming. Watch out.
Yeah. Good for her. He wanted his picture taken with the ball, and she said no.
That came right by us.
Oh, it's a bachelorette party.
Oh.
Boy, talk about being in the right place at the right time. In more ways than one.
That's right.
Jimenez strikes out the side. And we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. The Tigers lead 11-7. baseball on Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by Ford. Going further so you can. And that's appropriate in the Motor City. Comerica Park opened in 2000. They have those stone tiger statues all around the ballpark. And it didn't happen right away as they had hoped, but this ballpark has really helped transform downtown Detroit. Willie Peralta will pitch the 8th inning. Some other urban projects that have involved stadiums, they've gotten a quicker turnaround, but I remember for years coming here and most of the downtown buildings, the windows were boarded up and busted out.
Yep.
And people are moving back downtown again, and they built the hockey arena on the other side of the highway. And
Little Caesars.
Yep. Really done a nice job here.
Yeah, and they're reviving it. There's a lot of construction area going in around here where some of the vacant homes are now being replaced.
Victor Martinez, Jim Adduci, and Ronnie Rodriguez are coming up. One ball, one strike.
Fastball, slider, changeup.
Phillips runs into left center field and takes care of Victor Martinez. And there's one out in the bottom of the 8th. Tonight's copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals Baseball Club. Here's Jim Adduci. No balls, one strike. Ryan Lefevre with Rex Hudler, along with Joel Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery. Adduci is 0 for 4 with a run scored. No balls, two strikes. And grinding it out in our production truck, director Steve Kurtenbach, producer Kevin Cedergren. Our associate producer is Al Broughton. Good to have Al with us here in Detroit.
Yeah, it is. We got to have him.
Sam Abramson, Dave Holtzman, and Casey Carter. Casey's wondering if he has enough segments in Boulevard Royals Live to cover all of the offense tonight.
Yeah, wow. Be nice if somehow they could put a finish on him, but Detroit really put the pedal to the metal.
In the 9th, it'll be Mondesi, Dozier, and Perez. Ronnie Rodriguez, he's toned it down a little bit at the plate. Remember early in the season, he was fidgety up there, like he had ants in his pants.
Yeah, yeah, and he held the bat way high up there, way up above his head. He's made some changes. And you know, I talked to Ron Gardenhire, their manager. I said, Gardy, I don't know if I've ever seen a stance like that before. And he goes, I haven't either. So that told me they were going to work on and change some things. They brought his hands way down now.
There's nothing, pretty good quick hands right there. Nothing wrong with a little flare at the plate, but I think at some point you don't want that many moving parts with a big league pitch coming your way, right? At some point,
yep,
you got to tone down some of that movement.
Yeah, I would agree. He's got some pop in his bat, but what worked in the minor leagues may not work up here.
And he's a .213 hitter at the moment, and that's with 2 hits tonight. And he grounds it sharply to Mondesi, and the ball rolls out of his glove, and Rodriguez has a 3-hit game.
Good effort there. Just came out.
And now another great classic walk-up song. James McCann to Jimmy Mack.
Yep. This is the home of Aretha Franklin. When she passed earlier this year, or this summer, recently, they had a moment of silence for her here, and a rainbow broke out over the ballpark. It's like she was there, just saying, hey, thanks.
Now I could pretend that my music knowledge is extensive. I know the song Jimmy Mack, but I had to Google Martha and the Vandellas.
Yeah, heard of them.
Dozier goes into foul ground and takes care of McCann. Last chance for the Royals. They are down by 4.
And that was just in the first 2 innings alone. A lot to discuss coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Joel Goldberg, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery. Royals offense certainly there, and a lot of home runs we'll discuss. Plus, Kristen Stewart making a huge name for himself, career night at this short early point in his career. We'll talk about that and much more coming up on Boulevard Royals Live. Ryan?
All right, Joel, thank you. There have been 6 home runs tonight. I think this is the most impressive. It's the Miller hold true moment.
Ooh, man, I'll say 4. If there was anybody sitting out there, watch out. Impressive indeed. His 10th.
Here's Shane Green, Tiger closer. He is 30 out of 36 in save opportunities. He gets a non-save opportunity here, and his ERA is over 5.
Yeah, a little bit too much to the plate. 90 to 95 with his fastball. He sinks it, it cuts, it kind of moves, dances around a little bit. Slider change.
1-1 on Mondesi. It was a wild first couple innings that Joel was referring to. The Royals scored 3 in the first inning. They got a 3-run home run from Jorge Bonifacio. So they are off and running. But the Tigers got 4 in the bottom of the first. 2 balls, 1 strike. So the Royals responded with 2 in the second on a home run by Brian Goodwin. So the Royals had a 5-4 lead, but then the Tigers scored 5 in the bottom of the second and had a 9-5 lead. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Dozier hit that home run in the 4th inning. That made it 9-7. And then the Tigers got a couple of unearned runs in the bottom of the 7th to make it 11-7. That'll be out of play. 2-2 on Mondesi. Starting in his 14th consecutive game.
Okay, and counting. Be a good way to finish the year if you finish it on out playing every day.
Still 2-2. Three balls, 2 strikes. Dozier on deck. Another foul ball. Last year the Tigers had an awful year with their bullpen. They've been better this year, but last year the Tigers had a 5.63 bullpen ERA, far and away the worst in the major leagues. Mondesi hits it high and deep to right field and has another home run.
I was thinking to myself, Green in here for, he's got a nice little lead. He's got to throw him some fastballs, and he threw him in consecutive pitches, and he thinking he's going to jump him, and he did. Look at him, caught it. Both sides of the plate.
Green has given up 11 home runs in 60 innings. Willie Peralta says, come on, smile for the camera. So that's 4 home runs for the Royals tonight. They're down by 3. Hunter Dozier has one of the 4. Helped out Green there. No balls, 2 strikes. Mondesi has the longest home run average of all the Royals on the active roster. One ball, 2 strikes. Two and two. The remarkable thing about Mondesi is not just how balanced he is from both sides of the plate. And Dozier is down on strikes, and I don't mean like literally balanced, but he's just as effective from both sides of the plate, and maybe that has something to do, Hud. He basically has the same stance from both sides of the plate.
He does. He has the same mannerisms on both sides of the plate. The only difference is follow through. We're going to show you left and right. See them? Watch them all simultaneously. There it is. It's very similar. Now the only thing that's different is the one top hand takeoff on the left from the right side, and then from the left side of the plate he holds on with both hands. However, I've seen him take his top hand off from the left side too. So it just depends on how he finishes, but the swing is all the same from both sides of the plate. Very impressive. Sometimes the switch hitters have different mechanics from different sides of the plate, and that's what gets him in trouble.
Ouch.
That missed the pad.
I hope it hit the pad because that was loud.
I think it missed. I hope it didn't.
Looked like it got some of the pad.
That's good.
And Salvi's going to stay in. So, tying run is on deck with one out. That's just the third batter that Shane Green has hit this year. And that is the 12th time that Salvi's been hit this year. Sliders in for a strike to Bonifacio. He's 1 for 4 with a first inning 3-run home run. No balls, 2 strikes. Who leads the league in being hit by a pitch, you ask?
Yeah, who leads the league?
Carlos Gomez, 21 times.
Wow.
All of which are unintentional.
That might be a handful.
Bonifacio down around the end of the bat. He had a good swing on it. He just didn't barrel it, as Hud likes to say, and he knows he just missed it. So the Royals still need a base runner for a chance, and now there are 2 down. And that'll bring up Herrera, who's as motivated as anybody. He made a big error as the Tigers added 2 in the bottom of the 7th inning. So otherwise, he could be up there right now representing the go-ahead run. $19 runs on 26 hits. And now the ball skips away from McCann and rolls up the first base line. So there's no force at second base. Salvi moves up 90 feet and tells Pete Cosmo where he was hit by Green. 19 runs, 26 hits, 7 home runs in tonight's game. Two-0 on Herrera. Well, if you're hoping for a big 9th inning rally, Kevin Cedergren just told me that Toronto just scored 7 in the 9th inning to beat Tampa Bay.
Really?
Yep.
Those arms they have at the back end? Wow.
2-1. Three balls, one strike.
Get him.
Alcides Escobar already has 2, make it 3 hits tonight. And looks like Ryan O'Hearn is going to bat for Goodwin. Fly ball center field, well hit. And Jones goes all the way to the track. That is off the wall, if not over the fence in most ballparks, but not here. It's 420 to straightaway center field. And the Tigers take game 1 in a wild one. 11-8 with the rookie Kristen Stewart becoming the first Tiger player ever with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs in 1 game. Playing in his first 11 big league games. And he hit those home runs in each of the first 2 innings.
Too bad for Rosell. Pull that ball next time.
We'll be right back.